Last week I ran through the Zelda series trading quests, where Link swaps various items in a sequence, and it made me think, these games really do have a lot of items. But not all of them function in the way you'd expect. Some items have strange or secret secondary uses. Some of these secondary uses are explained well by their games, like how playing the Sun Song on the ocarina will not only switch between night and day, but also stun nearby Redeads and Gibdos, an ability hinted at by a cryptic poem. But there are items with secondary uses that aren't hinted at or signposted anywhere, like how forest water isn't just able to nourish the tree saplings across the ocean, it can also be used to kill Kaledemos in a single hit. I posted on Twitter asking for other uses to Zelda items and got some really interesting responses. So subscribe if you haven't already for more Zelda content, and let's have a look at some Zelda items with strange secret abilities or secondary purposes. Breath of the Wild's 2 DLC packs each added various new armors to the game, most of which referenced previous games in the series. The Champion's Ballad included the Island Lobster shirt, found in a chest in Korra Lake. It's the same shirt Link wears at the start of the Wind Waker before he's given the hero's clothes, noted in the island's description, once worn by a hero who wielded the wind to travel the ocean wide. When worn, it provides heat resistance, which makes sense for a shirt worn on the sunny Outset Island. But the game doesn't tell you that the Island Lobster shirt gives Link a second buff. When sailing on a raft with a Korok leaf, wearing the Island Lobster shirt will give Link a small tailwind, just like how you change the direction of the wind to sail in the Wind Waker. This makes sailing way faster and is a great nod to the original game. But outside of the reminder that the shirt was worn by a hero who wielded the wind to travel the ocean, the game doesn't mention this ability at all. A more well-known secret use for an item in Breath of the Wild is that some spicy food, like spicy peppers or sun shrooms, can not only be cooked to create dishes that give Link resistance to the cold, but can also be used to create updrafts. Placing the spicy food on the floor and then lighting it on fire will create a column of wind which Link can use to gain altitude, which is incredibly useful, especially before unlocking Revali's Gale. Twice during his adventure, Link needs to restore power to the Sheikah Tech Labs in Akala and in Hyaaathehero. To do this, he needs to relight the lab's furnaces with blue flame, collected from the ancient furnaces a little way away. Using a torch, or another method if you're feeling fancy, you can transport the flame from the furnaces, lighting braziers along the way. But if you stop to mess around for a while carrying the blue flame, it has some interesting properties. Many characters will have unique dialogue when you're carrying blue fire, and the children of Hyaaathehero village will follow Link around. You can lead them way out of the village like some kind of Sheikah Pied Piper, which is pretty fun. As well as this, because it's the same blue fire that powers Sheikah Tech, you can use it to detonate remote bombs or destroy Cryonis blocks, both of which can't be done with regular fire, but can be done with any ancient weaponry. This is a pretty interesting mechanic that isn't used at all for any of the game's puzzles, even in shrines, unless I'm missing something. Blue fire also appeared in Ocarina of Time. It's used in the ice cavern to melt red ice, where it could be stored in empty bottles. It's also used to thaw out King Zora, again by melting red ice that has trapped him. Blue fire is cold. It's described as a cool flame, and any keys that pass through it will become ice keys. But despite this, blue fire will also destroy some bombable walls when emptied nearby. While masks obviously feature most prominently in Majora's Mask, where many of them grant Link new abilities and new powers, this isn't the case for Ocarina of Time. Aside from the Mask of Truth, which allows Link to talk to Gossip Stones, these masks don't grant Link abilities like those in Majora's Mask, except the Bunny Hood and Skull Mask. I've mentioned this before in a video covering Ocarina of Time secrets, but these two masks actually have secret uses. If Link wears the Skull Mask, Keese won't attack him, and if he wears the Bunny Hood, Stal children won't spawn in Hyrule Field at night. I don't know why these two masks have secret uses, but it's really cool that they do. There's actually another mask with a secret use. Sort of. The Gerudo mask will highlight some objects like doors or the flagpoles in the Haunted Wasteland, but only when worn as adult Link, which is impossible without cheats or glitches. This only happens with the Gerudo mask, so perhaps it's the leftovers from an intended use for the mask during development, or maybe it's just a weird glitch. Hyaaathehero pointed out another use for the ball and chain from Twilight Princess that's more of a developer oversight than an intended secret mechanic, but is interesting enough to include. The ball and chain is a monstrous weapon, and it'll obliterate almost anything you throw it at. It turns out, this is because the developers applied the properties of a bomb to the weapon, giving it its explosive power and explaining why it can break through bombable walls. However, this means that you can use the ball and chain to destroy spider webs, which ordinarily can only be broken with the use of fire, like with a lantern. Because the ball and chain has the properties of an explosion, which obviously will destroy a web, it does too. You can even see the web darken as if it's being burned, although there's no visible flame. Magic powder is pretty strange in Link's Awakening. It can reanimate a pile of bones in the desert that will give you hints, change buzz blobs into the talkative Cukeman, or incinerate cuckoos and mutts in the original version. Two of Link's Awakening's bosses are fought with magic powder, the giant buzz blob in the Color Dungeon, and the first form of the nightmare fought in the Windfish's Egg. Both bosses are based on gelatinous enemies, and both must be defeated by sprinkling magic powder on them as they're immune to sword strikes. Magic powder is made by presenting the witch with a sleepy toadstool, found in the mysterious woods. In the remake, it's a key item and can't be wielded, but in the original and DX versions, the sleepy toadstool is an item and can be mapped to the A or B buttons. When used, Link will hold it above his head, and a text bubble will read, "It's the toadstool you picked in the woods. What is it for?" You hold it over your head and a mellow aroma wafts into your nostrils. Like I said, the main use for the toadstool is to make magic powder, but there's another use. It's a weapon. When fighting either the Shadow Nightmare's first form or the giant buzz blob, the bosses that require use of magic powder, using the toadstool anywhere in the room will kill the boss instantly. Weirdly, the text still appears, asking what the toadstool is for, but the mellow aroma apparently destroys either enemy. It makes sense for the source of magic powder to affect the bosses weak to it, but still, it's never mentioned in-game. Of course, as you can't wield the toadstool in the Switch remake, this sadly doesn't work, but it's my favourite secret use for an item in the series. Thanks for watching this video. Did you know about any of these uses for Zelda items? Are there any other items with strange or secret uses? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, leave a like or subscribe if you haven't already for more Zelda content. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.